Ladies and gentlemen, in a world intoxicated by the illusion of quick wealth and overnight success, we are taught to chase money like a shadow that always slips away the moment we get close. The system trains you to focus on tactics, save here, invest there, work harder. But the truth that is rarely spoken is this: wealth is not first acquired in your bank account, it is first built in your mind. The real game isn't played on spreadsheets or in business meetings. It is played within, where your beliefs, fears, and habits reside, like invisible rulers of your fate. You don't need more hustle, you need a radical shift in mindset, a transformation so deep it rewires how you think about money, time, work, and value. And once that shift occurs, financial freedom will stop being a fantasy and start becoming your reality. Shift from scarcity to abundance. Most people operate from a mindset of scarcity. They believe there's never enough, not enough money, time, or opportunity. This belief becomes a prison, locking them in jobs they hate, habits that limit them, and fears that freeze their potential. But the truth is, the world is overflowing with opportunities for those who know how to see them. The shift to abundance means understanding that value is infinite. It can be created, exchanged, multiplied. It means asking, what can I create that others value instead of what can I get? Example, a man struggling to pay rent stops thinking about cutting expenses and starts asking how he can solve bigger problems for people. He creates an online course from a skill he once considered worthless. Within 6 months, his income triples, not because he worked harder, but because he worked from abundant value over time. Stop selling your hours. Financial freedom remains a myth. For those who are still selling their time, trading time for money is the first trap. The shift comes when you realize wealthy people don't sell time, they build systems that work without them. Your goal must become to detach income from effort, to leverage tools, technology, and people in order to scale. Example, a woman stuck in a 9-to-5 job creates a simple digital product. At first it sells a few copies a month. She improves it, automates her sales, and before long she's making more in her sleep than she did during an entire work week. Time stopped being her prison and became her ally. Think long-term, build assets, not paychecks. The poor and middle class focus on paychecks. The wealthy focus on assets, things that grow in value or generate cash flow. This requires patience, discipline, and delayed gratification. It requires that you stop chasing dopamine and start building dominance. A mindset shift occurs when you begin to prioritize ownership over consumption. Example, a man once obsessed with luxury cars and expensive nights out begins investing in rental properties. At first it's slow and unglamorous, but within a few years those assets generate passive income, and now his old desires seem cheap compared to the power of freedom. Emotional mastery. Detach from fear and greed. Fear keeps you from investing. Greed makes you chase hype. Both are emotions that will make you poor. The wealth-building mindset is cold, strategic, and unemotional. It studies the field like a general before battle, knowing that panic and desire destroy more fortunes than bad luck ever did. Example, during a market crash, most people sell in fear. One man stays calm, he buys undervalued stocks while others run. When the market recovers, his fortune multiplies. The key wasn't timing, it was temperament. Learn to see money as a servant, not a master. Money is a tool, not a god. Those who worship it become its slave, but those who master it use it to build, to grow, to impact. The mindset shift here is subtle but powerful. Stop chasing money, start using money to build leverage, to free time, to multiply impact. Example, a woman inherits a small sum. She doesn't spend it on distractions. Instead, she hires a designer to help her brand her freelance business. That small investment brings in 5 new clients. She repeats the process, and soon, money works for her like an invisible army. Identity shift. See yourself as wealthy before the world does. Before the world calls you rich, you must believe it in your bones. This is not delusion, it is design. If you carry the identity of a struggler, you will sabotage your success. But if you adopt the identity of a creator, a builder, a strategist, you will begin acting in alignment with wealth. Example, a man working as a janitor begins reading every night, learning about finance, business, psychology. He starts a side hustle, fails, tries again. Eventually, Eventually, he builds a thriving business not because of luck, but because his identity evolved before his circumstances did. Master the game of invisible influence. Money is social, it flows through networks, influence, and perception. The final mindset shift is to stop focusing only on what you know and start focusing on who you are becoming in the eyes of others. Positioning, branding, and social leverage matter. You must learn the unspoken language of power and perception. Example, a quiet coder starts posting thoughtful insights online. He builds an audience, then a community. Soon he's not looking for jobs, they are coming to him. His perceived value has increased, the wealth followed. Understand this, you are not broke because you lack money. You are broke because you lack perspective. Financial freedom is not a reward for effort. It is the natural outcome of a transformed mind. Every fortune starts as an idea. Every empire begins with a shift. If you change your mind, you will change your world.